Calling host, Siddharth.
Honorable Sir,
Please.
I extend my gratitude for allowing me to speak today on this occasion, supporting the general budget of the year 2011-12 presented by our Honorable Finance Minister. Nearly 400 years before Jesus Christ was born, and when Jesus Christ encouraged his disciples to serve mankind, another great brain described to his monarch and king the criteria and qualities for good governance. And he told his king, I quote, "In the happiness of his subjects lies the king's happiness. In their welfare, his welfare. We shall not consider as good only that which pleases him, but treat as beneficial to him whatever pleases his subjects." His name was Chanakya or Kautilya. So I think our Honorable Finance Minister kept the directions of the old saying of Chanakya or Kautilya while preparing the general budget for the country this year. And I do feel that this budget is solely a look future budget, a program which had been neglected for so many long years in spite of governments coming before this UPA2, who have neglected the total development of the country as a holistic approach. Our Honorable Finance Minister this time presented not only the accounts of the income expenditure this time, it appears to be a complete dossier for inclusive growth, infrastructural development, to lead the country forward and soar greater heights. I quote our Madam Speaker, "पंख भी है, खुले आकाश भी है, फिर भी ये ना उड़ पाने की मजबूरी क्यों?" It is so important that our great country India has all the necessary elements, natural elements, manpower to surge forward in the world and rise greater heights to become and emerge as a very powerful economy. But for the last years, the budgets did not consider every man, even the last man, woman and child in the villages, and that is why we've been lagging behind. As far as a budget is concerned, without going into the economic and the statistical jargon, I would like to point out that for a country to emerge powerfully, every citizen must get good food, nutritious food, must get enough health care facilities. The agriculture of the country must be booming, and also the education of the junior and the future citizens must be taken care of, along with development of agriculture, animal husbandry and industry. So one by one, if we take into considerations, first we see that the prices of laptop, steel, syringes for injections, air conditioning, cold storages have gone down. So has gone down the materials for infrastructural developments like cement, like steel, like iron ore. And headphone cells, mobile connectivity, laser printers and solar equipment show that our Honorable Finance Minister wanted to hand over to the younger generation the upcoming gadgets to keep in touch with one another from the village to the town to the big cities and also outside the country. This is a laudable effort. But this young generation must also be educated. And for education, what has not been mentioned is the teachers have not been given a consideration. As far as
9 minutes है।
my state of West Bengal goes, I know that the
एक आदमी बोल चुका है।
madrasa teachers of West Bengal do not get any pay hike. They are not included in any basic pay scale. Neither are the primary school teachers. This is a profession that is respected by all of us, and we know it is the teachers of a country which builds up the nation's man, the nation's woman, to stand upright against any aggression, any foreign invasion, and fight for the country. But if we do not take care of the teachers, their pay scales, then our future is going to suffer.
बैठने वाला लोग है क्या?
Along with that, I would like to point out that till today, many of our villages have not received electrification. And particularly in West Bengal, when we ask for electrification, just prior to one assembly vote, the poles are brought to the village with the promise of bringing in the electric light as soon as the polls are over. The wires are brought in after 5 years for the next assembly elections, and even after 10 years, electrification is not done. There is a small solution to this problem which I have undertaken within my parliamentary constituency. We have provided solar lights in all the villages where there was no electricity. But I do like to mention that there is a scarcity of providing solar lights, and the subsidy to solar light should be increased and more care given to these alternative methods of energy, so that we can trap wind energy, solar energy, water energy, and try to provide electric light to all the students in all the villages of our great country for them to study well in the evenings. We appreciate that the Anganwadi worker has been helped and her pay has been increased, and so has the co-worker or helper's pay increased. But we would like to point out that women have received no relief from the tax this time, and we would definitely speak in favor of all the women, the working women of the country, that little tax relief be considered as far as we are concerned. I would also like to point out that rupees 100 crore has been given for vaccination of young children, which is required to protect them from chronic diseases, which are killer diseases. But here I would also like to point out that there are certain vaccines which protect women when given in childhood from deadly cervical cancers. I really do not understand why the health ministry is holding up releasing sanction to this particular vaccine, because the largest killer of women in the world is in India, their ages being between 40 and 45, leaving little children behind. These women die due to cervical cancer, and it is a preventable disease now with a vaccine available. So this allotment be made for the women to be covered when they are in their adolescence. The health department has received, particularly the National Rural Health Mission, nearly 2,500 crores, and I'm sure that people are going to be healthy in the villages and in the cities. The 5% tax that has been introduced in the private sectors should be done away with, because whatever the disease is, the person goes to a hospital. The state of our state general hospitals, particularly in West Bengal, in such shambles that even when a moribund patient suffering from acute cardiac attack goes, a mother in a second stage of labor goes with the child's head popping out, they are refused admission. So they are forced to go to the private hospital. And this private hospital, if it charges 5% extra tax, the women, the patients are going to suffer. So this should be done away with. And with this extra money that has been given to the health department, I should think the below poverty line families, the BPL families, should be each issued a smart card for a particular amount of money, so that wherever they go, whenever in need, whenever they are in disease, whenever there is an accident, they can show it in some hospital for admission, because in many cases the hospitals do not admit if nothing less than 25,000 rupees is deposited at the moment. Nobody is carrying that amount of money all the time. As far as animal husbandry is concerned, we all know that the price of meat and milk had gone up. And there is extra 100 crore given towards an institute in Kerala, but the animal husbandry division requires special attention. The veterinary surgeons are deprived. The colleges are not increasing in number for the veterinary surgeons. Their basic pay is not increasing. And there are no research facilities for the veterinary surgeons. There are cows all over the world which give 40 liters of milk a day. There are buffaloes in the country which do give 40 liters a day. But to look at this scarcity and the soaring price of milk, we can transfer frozen embryos after genetic engineering if we pay some attention to the veterinary surgeon's research and do away with the price. Yes, sir, just one more minute.
Please.
And as far as housing is concerned, I would request that all the different sections made, the loan has been increased, the ceiling of the loan, the rural housing fund has been increased, the mortgage risk guarantee fund under the Rajiv Awas Yojana has been increased, and it is really laudable that it is going to help the poor people. But I think that the right of the jungle should be given back to the tribals and some measure taken to provide them with housing, and also their profession, they should be trained for their traditional skills, and local marketing should be organized to do away with the middleman. So, local marketing should also be organized in the agricultural sector, because a farmer who is producing tomatoes at rupees 4 per kilo or potato at rupees 1 per kilo is selling this to the middleman. The middleman is selling it to the market at much higher price. The consumer is getting affected. So mobile markets can collect the agricultural product from the farmer, and the state-owned mobile markets can sell it to the consumer, helping both the farmer and the consumer. And I would also like to point out, sir, that better monitoring should be done for the storage of grains, where 40% of the wheat and rice produced is wasted due to pests and storage. And we should also introduce crop insurance for all of these agricultural farmers who lose it to drought and sometimes flood. So we should introduce crop insurance to help the poor farmer. And I do think that with these measures, our country is going to surge forward and emerge a great economy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sri Lalji Tandon.